Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel, and thanks for logging on. Today, we're discussing the Jaeger-LeCoultre Reverso Grande Taille. You can see and you can purchase this traditionally sized manual wind Reverso on our website. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you enjoy these videos, and please click on the card in the upper right-hand corner of the screen at any time during the video to see our full sales listing for this watch, with additional accessories included in the sale, high-resolution images, and naturally complete pricing details for this traditionally sized Reverso Grande Taille. Now on my wrist, 6 1/3 inches, 16 centimeters in circumference, you can see that this is really the first of the modern Reverso cases. Now it came about in 1991 with the 60th anniversary Reverso. That was the very first Reverso that measured a then grand 42 millimeters from lug to lug, hence the name Grande Taille, substantially larger than the original Reverso case size, which was 38 lug to lug. So now you know the distance across the wrist. It's remarkably thin, only 9.5 millimeters thick, with a gently sloped case flank that allows it to easily slide underneath formal sleeves or tight cuffs. And in terms of span across, it's a very compact 26 millimeters, so the watch is exactly what you would expect from a traditionally sized Reverso without being downright petite as the Reverso Classique 38 millimeter case can be. Now the timepiece has good heft to it, this in large part due to the solid case back of the rotating case portion and the immense chassis that acts as the cradle for the revolving case. The watch features nicely underslung straps such that you can still pull the strap straight down around the tight curve of a smaller wrist, and this watch is beautifully sized for a smaller wrist, but there's no visible gap between case flank and the end of the strap. The fact that it's drilled relatively high and plugged in underslung beneath the case means that JLC achieves a very coherent and integrated look with this strap and case combination. Now it is a very dark brown rectangular scale monotone stitch alligator leather. It has a slightly bolstered center spline, so you can see it adds some body, so it matches the swell of the conical lugs nicely, and there is a traditional and easily manipulated JLC polished rose gold pin buckle for quick on-the-fly sizing. Now of course the Reverso is an Art Deco era icon originally envisioned in the early 1930s. It features many elements that were distinctive of the time. First and foremost, you can see the gentle taper of the conical lugs and then the strong contrast of the horizontal gadrons cut into the case. You can see them to good effect from this angle, in contrast and in tension with the vertical straight sweep of the rectangular form. Within the dial, you can see that the watch features a cool silvered vertical grained pattern underneath the hour track, but then there's a rose lathe cut center section with pronounced guilloche. It's billowing in a set of columns, so the billowed portions run horizontally, the columns run vertically. Beautiful blued broadsword style hands, and then a countersunk sub-seconds sub-dial at 6 o'clock. The Arabic numerals are a very sober, almost one might even say slightly cool, slightly antiseptic Art Deco transferred font. It's handsome, but at the same time, it seems to be in contrast with the warmth of the rest of the watch. The Reverso has always been about tension. The tension between the front and the back, the tension between the portion that's static on your wrist and the part that revolves, the tension between leather and metal, and of course the tension between lines that sweep and lines that run horizontally and vertically. And yes, you have that in that combination of silver dial and somewhat cool, austere even font. But of course, underneath, the beautiful warmth of an engine-turned cradle base. This is a great tradition of the Reversos dating back to the 1930s. It's historically fantastic in the sense that there's an element of authenticity tying the watch to its origins, and it's one of the surprise and delight features of the watch, such that the first time you withdraw the case, you see it and it just brings a smile to your face. Now the case back in this instance is, as the originals were, tabula rasa. You can have it engraved, you can have it enameled, personalize it or leave it as it is. It creates a great mystery when you encounter someone who's never seen a Reverso and they see the watch turned to the solid reverse face. Of course, a great conversation starter, and you can always tell them this was the first of the sports watches from Jaeger-LeCoultre, designed so that the hardened, solid caseback would face the blows of polo mallets, as the watch was originally conceived for British officers in India who were smashing the then glass crystals of their watches during polo matches. So the first sports watch, leave as is or personalize. It's your choice. But regardless, underneath that case, you find Jaeger-LeCoultre's in-house caliber 822, originally envisioned for the Reverso case specifically in this size, the Grande Taille. It's both a shaped movement and it fills the case every single square millimeter internally, the mark of a true manufacturer being able to build a sized and shaped case for a specific watch model. It has a 45-hour power reserve, manual winding, of course, hours, minutes, and seconds. It's very basic, but it has a phenomenal pedigree with a 3 Hz or 21,600 vibration per hour beat rate. It's stately and traditional in that respect as well. It's protected by 3 ATM water resistance, and if that sounds relatively modest, remember that it wasn't until 1984 and the resurrection of the Reverso and the re-engineering of the case that the Reverso had any water resistance at all. So in a lot of ways, this watch is a collection of milestones. That original Reverso shape and detail, the 1991 Grande Taille case, and of course that caliber 822 movement sized and shaped to fit. You can see it and you can purchase it on our website.